Yeah, as I told you in the test, you will find many questions this way. The beginning start with verb plus ing. Ask yourself logically, who did this action? The subject after the comma. So now where is the subject? Here the subject is civil war. Here the subject the carnage. Here the subject the carnage of. Take care of this one. The subject of. So the subject here carnage. Here the subject is it. Now, what is the best one for the subject? Is the civil war. Why? Because the civil war resulted in carnage. Because who this action? Resulting in around death in soldiers along as the war, not the carnage. So be wrong and see the wrong. Why D it is correct? Because it's redundant. Why should I have all of these repeat war again and repeat the word again? I can start with the subject. So we call it's a longer construction, and we don't prefer longer construction because it's redundant. I don't know, unnecessary repetitive words. That's why. Is it clear now?
Yes.
That's good. Now for the next one, did you answer it?
Yeah. B.
Letter B. I don't think so. Let's prove why C it's correct. Number one, memorize the relationships. On the other hand, you compare between two IDs.
فرح بابا بينادي عليك. Okay.
This is the first, the previous idea, and that is the next one. Yeah. Now are you with me?
Yes.
So that is the previous idea. I mean the previous sentence and the following sentence. Now what is the relation? Is it comparison?
Mister, just a second.
Okay.
Just a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. Mister?
And now let's continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. And now let's prove it. We stopped in this point that find the relationship between the previous idea and the following idea. Is it comparison to use B? Do we compare between two ideas or two things? No. What is it? Cause and effect. For letter C. Yes. Why? Let's read. Is before reason, and then the following consequence. Yes. Let's read. Let's read. While there has been a lot of research on solar and the nuclear energy as Martian energy sources, this is about the conjunction. I'm just collecting the ideas. So sentence, comma, sentence. Nuclear power harbors potential human risk, and the current models of solar system lack the energy storage capability to compensate for day and night and seasonal variations in generation. Look, he said it is prudent. Prudent means just like it's careful to consider an alternative source. Why it is prudent to consider to think more about another choice, another source? Why? Because we have a trouble here. So the relation is cause and effect. So cause means we have reason. Effect, we have consequence. So we don't have any comparison between two things. So it's not on the other hand. I told you before, if you found on the other hand, sometimes you can find on one hand, you see, or for the first hand, or first, the second, the third, but here we don't have find any comparisons. But is the following example to something before? No. Here it tells us about something else. As he mentioned, nuclear powers harbors human risk. The following does not tell us about any risk. It's not example. So letter D is wrong. Above all, Malik means I am going to summarize what is before. But there is no, so it's a wrong. You catch it?
Yes.
Now let's try number 30. Did you answer it?
D.
Furthermore, you are going to add details to something mentioned before. All right. So is this one, the following sentence, addition to the previous sentence, and the both of them evidence to this idea? No. That is
A.
A means similarity. This idea, it's the same like this idea by different words. No. Now let's find. Coincidentally means surprising. And if you find a surprising idea, means it's a contrast to something mentioned before. But here we have an example. This sentence, the following one, it's an example to something mentioned before, but let's find how. The easiest animals to domesticate to have them at home were herbivores, the ones that can eat hard plants, that graze, eat, or feed on vegetation. Why? Because they were easiest to feed. And then calling to explain this idea, they didn't not need humans to kill other animals to feed them or grow special crops. Cows, it's an example of these animals. So an example to prove something before. Example to this idea. Cows, for example, were easily domesticated. And then he gives you another sentence. You imagine it?
Yes.
So how can we answer this kind of a question? Number one, where are the two ideas? The previous sentence, the following sentence. At least the previous sentence, but it can be sentences before. Now let's find what is the relation. It is, give an example. If I don't know, for example, find the other ones. Do we have any similarity? No. Does we add information to this idea or examples? Coincidentally means something happened by chance. As you know, something happened by surprise, something you don't expect it. And anything you don't expect it, it's contrastive. But here it does not make sense. That's why. Now do you remember transition words? Now your job again, 31. What is 31?
D.
You would like to make it D, but I don't think so. Let's prove together why B correct. Now let's revise why D is wrong first. If you said additional means this sentence, it's an additional evidence to something mentioned before.
Oh.
But if you found it step by step, you will find eventually means finally, after steps, or the next step. As I told you, eventually means event. It means, for example, finally. Let's find it. In Europe, alchemy led to the discovery of manufacture of amalgams and advances in many other chemical processes. And look, after that, at the end, finally, by 16th century, the alchemists in Europe had separated into groups. Even this action happened after this action. Wait, why is wrong? Iron, from the word irony, is the following opposite? Because irony means you use opposite ideas to something mentioned before. Is this part opposite to this part? No. So is wrong. Is this one surprising? Surprising means unexpected. Something surprising came. Okay, but he said before this one, they found it. It's not surprises. Do you know why? Because this led to discovery. So that means that helped the alchemist to do something, not to surprise them by something not expected. So C is wrong. If you wanted to add malak additional, if you wanted to add, you must add to the same idea. But this action happened. So it means here at the end, in the long run, finally, after all, above all, so we find conclusion at the end. That's why. So here, B, it is correct. Catch up? So you must memorize the words, most common, and the meaning of them. Why not? We can revise again. What is 32?
C.
So you make it C. I don't think so. So why not D? Let's prove it. What does the question? Remember this kind of a question, all of them correct, but what does the question exactly need? He said to present the research and the findings, you must find both of them in the answer. So what is the trap? The test maker will give you information about research only, and then give you about findings only. And one answer is not in the notes at all, and the other one must be there. You catch it?
Yes.
Let's find. Now he says in letter D, recent research, look, information about research, has identified that a particular genetic abnormality is the reason for. And then look, the findings, which is caused primarily in. So we add both of them or not? Yes. That's why. Letter C, it tells you only about the recent research has showed that. Okay, but so what are the findings? Well, findings, which is called the primarily in. Feel it? This is the consequence. So we have both of them, the reason and consequence, as he mentioned, the research and findings. That's why. So letter D covers the question. Number 33. Did you answer it?
Yes.
If you answer it at home, you can say that.
Yeah. B.
and the letter B is correct answer. That's why. So always we need what does the question need exactly. That's right, and you found objectives. So that is the end of this module. You did your best. Alhamdulillah, you did your ones. All right, so no problem, we can revise. I'm going to send you the next module, but you must give me seconds. And now check your WhatsApp very quickly. Yeah, I send you this one.
Mhm.
And let's answer 2 or 3 questions and then we'll finish, don't worry. Number 1, you can read and answer.
D.
You think it's D, but it must be letter C. Why? Number 1, what kind of word? Adjective. What does it describe? We need to know. With slavery so deeply. So, adjective to describe the slavery. So, slavery is what? And then we have consequence. Union leaders had reached the decision that slavery had to end in order for the union to be restored. So they wanted to stop the slavery. So we can build the union and then restore the union and live in peace. So slavery is emotional, does not work with sense. Remember, I read before and after to help me, but we focus on the sentence of the question. Yes or no? Yes, it is.
Yes.
Now, slavery is involved. If we make the slavery involved, that means we are still in war. But he said that he reached the decision to end the slavery. How can we make slavery involved? It's opposite. Involved means we have slavery. But how? So this opposite, so this is wrong. Now we found the letter B. So why letter B is wrong? Because if you said here entrenched, it means it will continue. But how? We need to stop it, not to continue. How in entrenched means to be continual. So be opposite. Now die here means to make something to sense. So if slavery is divisive, it means you are going to break it, you are going to stop it. And if we stop it, we can restore the union again. So letter C it is correct. That's why, as I told you, we always choose the best word for the best context. For example, ask yourself, why we have this word? Because Union War evolved as the war progressed, and evolved already means progress. And he said as means when. So Union War did what? As the war progressed. So the Union War will continue, evolve, if the war progressed in response to political issues. So this word here is the best word. That's why we choose words like that. Feel it?
Yes.
Now the next one, half the time.
B.
So B, no. Let's try. After reading, you will find as soon as when one predator develops a weapon or a defensive mechanisms, the other one will find a way to adapt, working on adaptation. Adaptation that allows it to do what with the mechanism. For example, if you are a predator and I'm a prey, if you invent a way to catch me, I will invent a way to escape from you. Yes or no? So how can the other one find a way to assist? No, to escape from. You catch it?
Yes.
Letter A means increase. Augment means increase. So we don't mean that to increase the mechanism. No, we'll find a reason to escape. If this means to go around. And the circle, this is Latin root. Circle means to circle around the problem. It means you are going to find a way to escape from it or to avoid it. That's right. So here letter D is the best. And of course, letter C does not make sense. How it means to adapt to that mechanism. If the other one adapts the mechanism, it will be opposite. How the prey adapt with the mechanism of the predators. You wanted to stop this mechanism, to escape from it, to avoid being caught by the predator. That's why. Now the last question. Right.
C.
Letter C, it is no. Try again. All of these adverbs. What does the adverb describe? That's it. He said here, however, almost what? It's adverb. Adverb to describe the action that's happening here. He said consciously. It does not describe yawning is perhaps a reflex. Let me help you. However, here for contrastive ideas, yes or no? This one. That means this idea is opposite to this idea. Because we have however, as you know, conjunctive adverb. If I said consciously, it's not opposite to the previous. This is synonym. Ridiculously does not describe this as this is a ridiculous idea. But paradoxically means already, however, opposite to something mentioned before. If however makes me to find an idea here opposite to the previous idea. That's why if you said A, it's how this synonym to the previous. So A is opposite. Feel that? If certainly it means you are going to confirm the previous. And we need something to show contrast to the previous. Because we have however. That's why. And the paradox already means however. That's why. And of course, this one does not work with the sense. It's not related to the situation. What's the style of the text? That is. All right, so you can keep this module for your homework
Mhm.
and expect today some notes to revise for the punctuation and the grammar, and at the same time, I'll send you a list of vocab. Okay?
Okay.
Accept. And now take a small break and do it. Bye bye to you, Marek, now.